Yeah, I'm from Essex, so I can connect with some of that stuff. Racist granddads.
News. London Transport say they may have to close the underground system due to an infestation of horses.
Loads of horses, at least 30 I'd say. As a train approaches, they start running away from the train.
And what the drivers say they fear most of all is a head-on collision with a blind tube man.
What's up, YouTube? Hello, I am doing something new today. I've been doing some sort of reactions to reactions of people watching Stuart Lee, and that's been nice. I just thought I would share a little comment I had here from Gart Greenside 3657. Nice name. I love 3657 is one of my favourite numbers, probably. He says, I was going to do a reaction to your reaction to his reaction, but I can't be bothered, which is good. He's a man after my own heart, really. Just a word of advice. Reaction channels serve two purposes, in my view. One, it gives people like me, a Brit, an insight into how people from other countries see the culture of the UK. Very good. And it is cheap, lowbrow entertainment. By these metrics, IMHO, don't know what that means, DTN is 10,000 times better a reactor than you are. He actually put that you are, but I'll let him off for that. Thank you. So I think that's a compliment. He reckons he's 10,000 times better than me, which is good because I thought he was 18,000 times better than me. So thank you, Gart Greenside. Is that your name? Whatever your name is. And, 3657. Nice. Good. Right. So before we push on we're going to look at Jeff Innocent, Smart Casual, full special. I will break this into parts. But I did want to say there's a lot of these films out, like there was Bird Box, where you can't look at the thing, otherwise it'll kill you. Then there was there's Don't Move, there's Don't Breathe, there's aliens that attack you, that they can only hear you, so you have to keep really quiet. I thought, why not have a film where the aliens can only attack you by sense of smell? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Because you could have people trying not to fart. The survivors would be people who'd keep themselves scrupulously clean, I assume, and eat low fibre foods, so they don't get too flatulent. So anyway, I'm thinking of pitching that to Netflix. Right, let's move swiftly on and dive into Jeff Innocent.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Jeff Innocent.
How fantastic is this? Born and bred in Newham, and now my name is in lights outside the local theatre, thanks to you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Totally blessed. Absolutely blessed. So it's been an amazing journey. About a year ago, my social media guy put some clips up on Instagram. It went viral. I became an overnight social media sensation after doing comedy for 27 years.
That's probably where I first saw him. I think I saw him on some clip on Twitter or something.
But I feel like the Rhinestone Cowboy suddenly, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, offers coming over the phone. and offers for me to be an influencer. Can you imagine me being an influencer? I wouldn't want to influence my own fucking children, let alone the public at large, and a product ambassador. I don't know what they see in me. The weirdest one was a flower delivery service. Would you really want somebody who looks like me knocking on your door, offering you a bunch of flowers? That'd be like a mafia death threat, wouldn't it, eh? Here, mate, we're burying you in the morning.
Better than a horse's head, I guess.
But the products I have got on board with, and don't judge me on this, Crocs have been in touch. Well, you know, I'm guessing there might be one or two men of a certain age in this audience tonight who would have worn Crocs if their wife hadn't said, "You're not fucking coming out with me." Just like that. They've relaunched Crocs. They want me to give them a review, right? They want me to give them a video review. They've relaunched them as a semi-orthopaedic shoe. Thank you very much. But they've got some new features. I thought I'd advertise that while I'm here. If you put the strap down now, do you know what they call that? Sports mode. They're taking the piss, aren't they? Sports mode. So we've got the sports mode, and they've all still got this slogan, "Come as you are, come as you are." Now, I've embraced this offer, and I'll tell you why. I've started wearing them for driving, because I suffer a little bit from road rage. And I figure I'm never going to get out the car wearing a pair of pink Crocs, am I? In an urban conflict situation. And even if I cross that anger threshold, the other bloke's going to look at me and go, "Mate, you're showing yourself right up." But the best thing I think that's happened, that's made my life so much easier, is that now when I go to comedy clubs and walk on stage, people know that I'm a comedian. And I have to tell you, I've walked on for 27 years to a sense of doubt and disbelief. What often happens is the audience start clapping, and then when they see me, they stop because they think there's been a mistake. No, I think they think I'm just a bloke from the audience who's got pissed and decided to give it a fucking go. You know those kind of people? Or an angry dad who's come to pick up his daughter because she's out too late. Where the fuck is she? Anything but the actual comedian, and it's taken me ages to work it out. I don't look very funny, do I? No, you know, I'm not the sort of bloke you're going to see in the street and go, "He looks a right fucking laugh, that bloke, doesn't he?" I reckon he's a comedian, do you? He's got fun written all over his face. So what I'm saying is I know I look dodgy. I've come to terms with the fact that I look dodgy. I mean, I used to look dodgy when I was a bit young, but I always thought when I get older I won't look dodgy. I'll just turn into a granddad kind of figure like everyone else. Obviously that hasn't happened. I will look worse now than when I was younger. When I say old, I'm not that old. I don't go to bed thinking I might not wake up the next morning, but however, I do still clear my search history just in case. So, bearing in mind, I know I look dodgy when I walk on the comedy clubs.
I dread to think the things my kids would find if I died suddenly.
Now, I've gone smart casual. I thought you'd understand. It's a postmodern reimagining of the old East End Essex classic where you incorporate some aspect of a tracksuit, weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, all totally acceptable culturally. Although, you know, I have to say, I think it takes a lot of guts from Anna Mites to wear a tracksuit since the Jimmy Savile turnout. Because, well, let's face it, Jimmy Savile fucked up the tracksuit for the older man, didn't he? And I think there's been a lot of men of a certain age over the last few years, maybe in this audience, who've been wanting to wear a tracksuit. You made the effort, bruv, I like that. And these men have been wanting to wear a tracksuit but haven't dared because of the association, maybe even going to the wardrobe, having a little old look for old time's sake. One day when all this is over, we'll be back together again. So tonight, you know, I'm reclaiming the tracksuit from the necrophilia community for the NHS, because I've worked out as long as you say for the NHS, you can do what you fucking want, really, can't you? Hey, it's true. It's true.
I worked for the NHS. Imagine that.
Yeah, I fucked your wife, mate, for the NHS. The NHS. But look is very tricky in stand-up comedy. When I first started doing stand-up comedy, I was quite old, and I think I come from a generation where comedians used to wear suits, and I thought, well, that's the look I'm going with. A suit is not a good look for me. I think most men, when they put a suit on, they look like they're going to the office or going to a wedding, right? I look like I'm going to murder someone. And professionally. Or on the odd occasions where I have worn a suit to a comedy club, I get mistaken for the bouncer, which is very flattering at my age. And this is when you know if a member of the audience thinks you're a bouncer, they'll come up and say the only thing we ever say to bouncers, which is usually this, excuse me, but if I go out, can I come back in again? Now, obviously, we can laugh at that because to us, that's a very simple question, right? But to a bouncer, that's probably a really complicated philosophical conundrum, you know. In, out, I don't know, mate. I'm a bouncer, I'm not a fucking scientist, mate, am I? Have you noticed bouncers all got an irrational fear that someone's going to steal their penis? But I flirted with the idea of being a bouncer when I was younger, not as a career option, obviously, because I'm educated. Although rather modestly and locally, the University of East London, thank you very much, which does exist, by the way. I mean, I don't know if you've got any people from outside Newham, but sometimes people laugh and snigger in a cynical way, but it's a proper university, it's got books, pens, all of that. It did have computers, you know what I mean? The thing
I used to work as security in a university, City University, and the computers did get stolen a few times. It's in quite a rough area in East London.
The thing is, right, if you come from a criminal background, which I'm lucky enough to have done so, when you go to university, you're going there to get away from that world, right? But your past life never lets you go. You never really lose that criminal mentality wherever you are, whatever you do, even at university. I'm studying history. You might get an essay question. Who was responsible for the English Civil War? I'm not a fucking grass. So I'm actually really into fashion, actually. Tragically, I'm really into vintage clothing. I say tragically because at my age, when I wear vintage clothing, it looks like I'm just still wearing it from when it came out. You know? I think the idea of vintage clothing is to wear stuff that you weren't around to wear at the time. So I'd have to go back to Victorian frock coats or Second World War fighter pilot outfits, you know? But if I ever had my own celebrity fashion line, I'd call it the Jeff Innocent Retired Cockney Criminal Leisurewear Collection. And I'd be aiming it at the man who's given up doing all his major crimes, but typically he's still hanging around with the wrong sort of people, so it could kick off at a moment's notice, and he might have to have it on his toes. And I think this ensemble has got that versatility, really. You know, I did on one hand for meeting someone who's just been released from Nick, but equally demanding money with fucking menaces. It's a one outfit for all occasions. But you've got to have names for outfits. If you go on fashion websites, you might have noticed what they do. They sometimes give outfits little lifestyle names so that you as a consumer, you buy into it subconsciously. There might be an outfit there called Hipster Dude or City Chick. You got the idea. So the name I go with for this look, tell me what you think, Racist Grandad. And if you're from Newham or Essex, I'm sure you're familiar. It's the white working class racist grandad. That's the look I'm going for. He lives on the estate, but his daughter has just got pregnant by her black boyfriend. So, all gone very wrong for that man. He's kicked her out the house. You know what these people are like. But bear with me on this, because potentially this has still got a happy ending, because he is what I call a redeemable racist. There's still hope for this man. And this is how multiculturalism works, in case there's any northerners in the audience. I know you're in here. There's a faint whiff of tripe in the air. It's a dead giveaway. And this is how it works. 9 months later, when the daughter comes back with this lovely little baby, now the racist granddad goes through a beautiful metamorphosis, falls in love with the child, they become inseparable. It's a beautiful love story brought about by multiculturalism. It's only a start, you know, this sort of stuff's gradual. He's still racist about every other fucker. Yeah? but not my fucking brown grandchild, all right? So that's the look I think I've successfully achieved this evening for the NHS.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. I was going to say Jeff Bezos there, but it's not. It's Jeff Innocent. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm from Essex, so I can connect with some of that stuff. You know, racist granddads, and he will go on more to talk a little bit about race, I'm sure, which is sort of what he's known for. But he's very good. He looks very frightening. He's a million miles away. He's probably he's a bit older than me, I guess. But he's a million miles away from me. I had a very tame upbringing in Essex. I was born on an Essex council estate, and it was sort of a posh Essex council estate. So I'm a strange mixture of working class. We weren't middle class by any stretch of the imagination, and we had very little money, but we also weren't sort of criminal, hubcap stealing, drug dealing people, and my family was very religious, so that sort of adds a whole slant to it. But yeah, interesting there to hear a little bit about Jeff Innocent. I will probably do all parts of this this comedy special, Smart Casual Full Special 2025. Oh, it's hot off the press. Thank you for watching. That is Jeff Innocent. I will have plenty more to say, but on that first part, yeah, he's very good. He's very likeable, isn't he? Which is one of the things that stand-up comedians really need to be, you know, unless you're Jimmy Carr. Yeah, Jeff Innocent, wonderful stuff. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications button, leave comment below. I do love your comments, as you see there at the beginning. It's nice to reply to people and, you know, allow me to retort.
Oh, well, allow me to retort.
That sort of thing. And don't nobody go nowhere.